Miss Grant, I think if you have any shame, you should return the money of the contestants who were deserving, but then you did injustice to them. Injustice is something that you teach your pageant girls to never tolerate. So, as you all know, I recently participated in one of the pageant, and it has been one of the horrible experiences of pageantry in my whole life as a pageant aspirant. Of course, I'm going to mention the main name, which is Miss Grant, but of which particular state, I'm not going to mention that. All those who want names can get into my DM and I'll give you all the names. And it's simply not because I'm scared of defamation case or anything, but it is simply because I'm somebody who believes in not attaching my name to people who I dislike. Because what happens is, once you mention a name or an agency or an organizer, it follows for the rest of your life. If anything happens to you, it gets associated with them. If anything good happens to them, it gets associated with you. You know, this was a girl who tried to shame them. Oh, this was the girl, blah, blah, blah. I hate that. You know what? Recently, my mom told me that the society keeps asking us about your marriage. So just randomly, just get married. Later on, you can divorce him just to shut the mouth. Just get married to anyone. And I was like, cool, makes sense. But whether I divorce him or stay with him or get separated or do whatever to do with him, the problem is my name is going to get attached with him. And it is always going to follow. My name will always follow his name. And I'm not okay with it. I'm like, I love my name, Sanjana, especially. And I am not okay with it being associated with things that I do not like because it would be an insult. And it's the same thing. If I do not like anything, I do not wish to have my name attached to them. I don't sit with the insult. Hence, I'm not afraid of any defamation case. I have my own multiple pending cases. So it doesn't. Those who do not know, I have been a pageant aspirant from last few years and I have done multiple pageants. Some of it include reputed names like TGPC, but I have also stood as a winner, TGPC Season 9 Miss Telangana. Before I proceed further about how I have had one of the horrible pageant experiences in my 4 years of being a pageant aspirant, firstly, any other feedback video that you see from me in regards to this particular pageant, it is null and invalid. It's almost like आप किसी के घर चाय पीने जाओगे तो उनकी चाय की बुराई तो नहीं करोगे ना, घर से निकलने के बाद ही चाय की बुराई करोगे. तो it was the same thing. If you see any other feedback other than this video in regards to that particular pageant, it is null and void. I'm making this video is because I believe in my modeling and acting journey. I have been misguided a lot, especially because of all the people who are already established. And I don't want young girls to fall into the same trap. We often see things, we get inspired, and then we want to do it, but people do not tell their real side of the story. People do not tell you the truth. People only say things that worked out for them while hiding the things that truly worked out for them. No one's gonna reveal you that. I'm making this video now and not immediately after my participation is because I was waiting for them to get over with the nationals and then head with their international. We are currently living in a era where people try to comment a lot, like, you know, she's trying to seek attention, she just wants to go viral, she's trying to create a controversy to get famous. Come on, dude, if I wanted to be famous, I have had multiple reasons to create controversy, so that's not what I believe in. So the first instinct that I ignored was applying for a pageant which I saw as a sponsored ad on Instagram. Often there are red flags. So I read the details and it clearly said there's going to be a registration charges of 1500 rupees and no hidden charges. Highlight the word no hidden charges. After a span of weeks or months, I received a WhatsApp message from the organization saying she's the state director. There will be a telephonic round on a particular date. And I was like, oh, okay, good. At least they are not fake. I thought my 1500 rupees was gone. But turns out genuine hai, is what I thought. Then came the day when telephonic round was to be done. Until evening, there was no call. And I was like, is it happening? Not happening. Is my phone not reachable because I stay on the upper floors? So I thought maybe my network is not reachable or something. So I happened to text her that, you know, I was expecting call and there is none. So she was like, do you want me to call you? And I was like, what sort of a response is that? No, like, you scheduled this day. So I was like, yeah, I have been waiting for the call. Then the call comes around 6:30ish. I usually believe everything winds up before sex, like officially. It was another informal thing. My second instinct, which again I happened to ignore. During the telephonic round, there was huge crowd sound. Like it was like she was sitting in the crowd or something. No professional pageant or state director would conduct telephonic round in such a setup where there's huge crowd sound and all. I literally could not even hear her properly, but then I just had to push because I had to be professional. So after some weeks, I happened to receive a document on WhatsApp, which was a photo that you have been shortlisted. Another weird thing, but it's okay. Because I was expecting state auditions should be happening. They would call us to a particular place and conduct the auditions, is what I thought. Because the other states that I was following and related to Miss Grand were doing the same thing. So I thought maybe these people are also gonna do the same thing. To my surprise, there was none. Just randomly one day, she calls me and tell, "Are you available for call today?" Well, no, we'll be just checking your walk, and then there would be basic pageant questions, interview kind of a thing. So I was like, okay, on spot, fine, works for me. And then we all connect on the G Meet, where what I saw was another third instinct of mine, which was telling me something is definitely fishy. So this particular state director, whose bio goes like Jack of Trade, but to be honest, she should change her bio from Jack of Trade to Jack of Trade. Yes. Master of none, definitely. Master of scam, absolutely. So she was sitting with her hair tied up in a bun, completely messy. And I think she was probably sitting in a washroom because I could see the tiles behind her, and it literally felt like she was sitting in washroom. In no way, no angle, she was looking like a state director or a pageant director. She clearly was looking like a scammer, and that was the first time I was seeing her. So unprofessional setup, everything unprofessional, and I was able to hear the same crowd sound which I was able to hear on the first day, which means she was doing the telephonic round in the washroom too, I believe. The lady in talk has her Instagram bio as Jack of Trades. I think she should change that and make it to Jack of Scams, Master of Scams, Jack of Trades, Master of None. Back to another person sitting in the call. He was hiding. You're on screen as Zenith. Yes, he was a person who was judging behind, watching like whether she can pay or not. Is she capable enough to pay or not? Or is she dumb enough to pay or not? Can we catch her? Is she is a good catch or not? I think he was judging behind that. Yes, he was also teaching this lady how to scam and get rich. There was no pageant questions, nothing at all. She just made me walk. She loved my walk. She even complimented, "You look so pretty. Your walk is so good." Blah blah blah. The other person was not speaking at all. It was just like mute. She informed me, "We are charging 50,000 as a grooming fee." I was like, the moment I heard, and I have a face. I literally have a face which comes with subtitle. I cannot hide whatever I'm feeling, what's running in my head and my heart. That it reflect easily onto my face. 50,000 grooming fee. My face reaction. I tried to control a lot. I immediately wanted to cut the call, but then my mom has said, Sanjana, always have manners. So I had to be. So I was like acting to just listen to them. And then I was like, okay, fine, sure, yeah. And then the call was done. I thought they were judging my walk. I was expecting pageant questions, which never came. And then I was told that I have to pay 50,000 as a grooming fee and all, blah, blah, blah. And then she gave some convincing pointers, that exclusive photo shoots, etc., we would groom. I did not fall for it, for sure. I just wanted to exit the call, but I had to stay because of the manners. Back to, it was a big turn off for me because I am somebody who's looking to revive her career. I have already worked in acting and modeling industry, and I'm currently in a phase where I took a break and then I'm trying to revive my career. So I'm looking for something where I can only bring my talent and hard work. Do not expect me to bring anything extra. Do not expect me to bring bribery. The reason it pissed me off is because during the registration time, I clearly read all the TNC terms and conditions of them, and they clearly mentioned that there's going to be no hidden charges at all. The reason the money thing was an off for me is because if you really wanted money, you should have told in the beginning itself. Hiding behind is so cheap behavior. Why do you have to hide? So it was clearly mentioned that there won't be any hidden charges, so it was a turn off. Second thing is these people do not hold any experience. They took the franchise for the first time. First franchise and the audacity to expect huge sum of money from the contestants, big red flag. Third is I'm someone who does not believe in paying and participating, because if you pay and participate, it almost becomes like bribery, and it's such a turn off and red flag again. My problem isn't with the money. My problem is she holds no experience of pageant at all. If it was someone experienced like Nikhil or Alicia ma'am or anyone who's already in the pageant business, them asking a huge amount of money would even make any sense for the grooming. But these top lady who has zero experience, zero maturity, where are you getting the confidence and the audacity? Scam people of money. मैं तुम्हें ना एक सच बताती हूँ, लूटे हुए पैसे से कभी कोई अमीर नहीं बनता. ऐसे लूटे हुए होते हैं ना, वो ज्यादा दिन टिकते भी नहीं. You have to pay for this so much. You will regret. And that G Meet was the day I think they decided who's going to be the winner, who's going to get subtitles. I happened to post it on my story that I'm no longer participating in this particular pageant because the only things that I can bring is talent, hard work, and competition. I thought I have to because some of the pageant pages already started following me ever since I posted my introduction video for the same pageant. From that day, literally for the rest of the days, she kept on begging me. Not once, not twice, not thrice, not 4 times, not 5 times, not 6 times, 7 times. She literally begged me 7 times to participate, and the kind of buttering and everything that she did throughout the process, the chats are attached here. She also indulged into manipulation, which I believe is crime. Maybe our country does not identify that, and it is banned in so many countries. So she indulged into manipulation like, Sanjana, your profile is the only one that we have, the strongest one. We see you in nationals. You have a good height. You already have pageant experience. Blah 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 blah. Which of course I was not following, and hence is the reason she had to beg me for 7 days. And I'm smart enough to know people who beg you, people who manipulate you, are scammers. So I wasn't going to fall for it until I ignored my instincts. And so after 7 days of begging, when that also did not work with me, because it's not easy to scam with me. Or she comes up with a magical thing called negotiations. So she happens to say the same butchering things again, which were like, Sanshana, you are the contestant, like you have followers, blah blah blah. She tells me that we are willing to offer you negotiation. And then she started giving me kind of a TED talk. Like, Sanshana, is it really because of money or not participating? Like, we don't want to lose candidates, deserving candidates, just for the sake of money. So we are willing to offer you negotiation, something like that. She happens to say. Okay, I started giving it a thought. Maybe it's okay. I can give it a try. I have been tolerating them this far, so maybe a little more I can. Let me just consider it as a 3 days girls trip. I agreed to participate. She may not have talented people on board, but she definitely had good scammers on board. Once the negotiation part was done, I had few doubts which I immediately wanted to clear with her. Like, would the competition be based on merit? A very important question. And her response was this. And what did she do in the end? The competition was completely not based on merit, but mostly. 2. Would I be cut down some access to facilities because I'm under negotiation? So she said no. To my surprise, I was cut down from the competition only. I was participating, I was competing in my head.
I was committed to
They
him.
cut me off even subtitles. These people, I don't need validation from these mother. I am validated by DGPC. When I seek validation from such organizer. How will these people understand what is TGBC? And to all the pageant aspirant girls, TGBC is something that you should, as a beginner pageant aspirant, you should give it a try, because trust me, it is completely based on your talent. It requires your real skill, competition, talent, hard work, and of course, what's needed for the pageantry. Unlike these people who just need money. Even on the day I was supposed to reach the venue, I was still doubtful. Trust me, even while I was getting ready to go there, I was on a call with my friend and I was like, just waiting for what to happen so that I can quit. And I'm like, yeah, this is the final warning sign from the universe that I'm not supposed to go. But nothing happened. So I was forced to go. And I reached the location. And to my surprise, the kind of some contestants that I saw, trust me, I was feeling embarrassed and humiliated. But then I understand her main agenda behind this pageant was minting money, scamming money. So I think she wasn't bothered about what kind of candidates she was getting. She was only bothered about collecting cash. And I think I have learned one thing about life these days, that if you want to be successful today, you either fill their mouth with money or you fill your mouth with their privates. And I think that's what she was doing, filling her mouth with money. So she was bringing any contestants. There were few good contestants too. No, I'm not trying to put down other girls. I'm not trying to put people down or anything. But what I want to say is, I mean, like, there has to be a bit of a standard, right? Then a student who cannot understand even a bit of science should not force science upon to themselves and then write a medical entrance and become a doctor by paying money. Would you accept such a doctor who has no interest in science and cannot even understand science, but they force themselves and somehow they managed and they got it all with the money? Would you like someone like that? No, right? I see that happening a lot these days in every other industry. People who have nothing to do with the industry are also stepping into the industry. Unless and until you have something, don't step into it and take up other people's space. Please. It's ridiculous, to be honest. The deserving candidates suffer because of that. Like, when it comes to acting and modeling, if you do not have height, if you do not have looks, if you do not have talent, please stay far, far away from it. If you do not have potential, please don't come. And I don't think I'm wrong in saying that. But don't get into something else just because everyone else is doing, or just because. Only when you have potential, get into it. Otherwise, please, please, please spare. Because of you, the other candidates of our finale was a very, very horrible show. You'll hear further when we go ahead. And that's the reason they couldn't telecast. Like, we can't do that. Of course, how will you do that? Have you looked at some of the contestants? They were like, you picked them from nurseries. So on the first day we reached the place, everything seemed fine. We checked into our rooms, we had good supply of water and everything felt okay. And I think that's how scammers work. They win your trust first. So to be honest, everything actually went smooth. And it was surprising for me because from the day one itself, my instincts were like, no, something is fishy here. We had our orientation, we had our photo shoot, we had our rehearsals, ramp walk, dinner, party, pool sequence. Everything was good. From the second day, the supply of water was cut down, meaning we were not given water bottles into the room. We were given tiny water bottles when we were doing the rehearsals, and suddenly it switched to the glass water, which was okay. Not okay, but still, water that was there in the resort, it was horrible. It was f***ing salty. It was on the outskirts of Mumbai. What do you expect? Many horrible things have happened on the second day. The food was also cut down. Like, we were only given dal and chawal. Dal and chawal.
अबे झाड़ी करने लगा तू
Can you imagine, we are waking up at 6 a.m., 5:30 a.m., and we are continuously busy for the rest of the days doing photo shoot, rehearsing that round, this round, and we are going back to our beds by 11:30, 12 o'clock. So by the time we get sleep, it is 1, and then again you have to wake up at 6. Feel pity for the girls who must have paid 50,000 or more than that, or we do not know exact figures. Imagine paying that much and having experience of 3 days where you are denied basics like water and food. So, we were rehearsing, we were continuously made to walk. We were literally working for you, and you're not even giving basics. Where are the nutrients? Where are the minerals that we need? Where's our vitamins? We need to look good too. It's not just about food is needed for energy, but we need to look good too. It's your show, it's your first time, and you're up yourself. On the third day, which was the finale, trust me, a lot of girls were literally collapsing. We lost our taste, we were not feeling to eat, our BPs went low, we were struggling, we were denied basics. You are expecting me to function throughout the day and look good just by eating dal chawal, and that too for the money that we have paid you. So here's how the finale went of Miss Grand of that particular state as an eyewitness, and because I was also a contestant. And it's also how our third day went. I literally saw them giving tap water in a rusty container, which I happened to complain, and then we were given water bottles. I mean, like, come on, these girls are paying you such huge amount, and you're not even able to afford water. We had a 30 seconds of statement round where we were supposed to give our statement on the stage, and literally more than half of the girls did not stick to that rule. They went beyond 30 seconds. In fact, some of them went beyond 1 minute, and yet they were considered and pushed into the top six. Openly, they were doing injustice. Some of the contestants were crying on the stage, begging to, still consider them even if they stopped speaking, even when they stopped giving the statement round. Some of them fumbled on the stage, some of them were not able to speak English, some of them spoke broken English, some of them was speaking in local language. It was chaos, it was chaotic. I, along with another contestant, were subjected to racism. During rehearsal, there were two particular local contestants who were like, "Why are you participating here? Go back to your state." Can someone tell these girls that these girls will never be fit for something like Femina Miss India or anything as such? You can do racism. This was clear racism. Although I did not report it to the organizer, I chose peace. And surprisingly, these candidates who indulged themselves into racism, who were doing racism against other contestants, were pushed to top six. This was a clear injustice. Those who fumble and still were pushed into top six. क्यों? क्योंकि पेटीएम पर 50,000 रुपए प्राप्त हुए. The subtitles that were given on stage on the finale were also so weird and funny. Like, some of the subtitles were feminine women, was given to someone who never spoke on feminism, who doesn't have anything on a Insta page, or can even communicate in English, or even can even stand for herself. It was given to her. The girl who had good skin, she got nothing, and it went to someone else. Weird. The point is, I'm not trying to put down anyone, but the thing is, like, where is the deserving candidate? Why would you do injustice? Why do you have contestants who cannot speak? This Miss Grand is an international pageant, and why would you even vote someone who's not capable for it? Now, I'm not saying you have to speak English or anything. What I'm trying to say, if you participate in a pageant, be a pageant person. If you're not a pageant person, it's an insult to those who are actually aspiring and working hard from years for it, right? So it's not fair to the other contestants. Regarding the telecast thing, they were like, this is not going to be live telecasted. How is it going to be telecasted? Have you seen your contestants? It literally felt like it was a pageant happening in a nursery school. Trust me. I literally was feeling embarrassed and ashamed to be even there. It was an insult for me, to be honest. And not to forget, I really want to appreciate there were a few contestants, one or two contestants who really did so fab. In fact, me making this video is not because I faced injustice. Me making this video is primarily because I, and along with other contestants, faced injustice. And at the same time, I still do believe that the first runner-up deserved to be the winner. So this is not about me. This is about how these organizers were, and the state director, what kind of people the franchise went to. Makeup team came from Kajal or Paswan. We thought it's going to be professional. but for some reason the batch that turned out there got us painted like it's for fashion show. Please, Kajal, do better. If it's a pageant makeup, please send those who can do pageant makeup. The overall grand finale looked like it was a cheap fashion show, and some of us were used to showcase the designs. Even the crowd was low and dull. Upon that, there was one particular designer who was literally interfering with the contestants all the time, impacting their performance, which I would want to talk about. She was basically a stylist calling herself a designer or whatever. Like her styling also sucked. Hardly any styling. You can go check the pictures. So she called herself a stylist come designer, but hardly she did any of that work because most of the time she was busy in listening to people's gossip and things which we did not even speak. So on the finale, me and another contestant was sitting in the reception and she was talking about the pictures which were already uploaded. And she was like, how can I reshare the same on my Instagram profile? I actually happened to tell her this is how you can do it. So this stylish come designer, all her designs suck, to be honest. She was passing by and did not even hear any of the conversation properly and happens to say, hey, you cannot post their pictures right now to the other girl. And I was like, dude, chill. She's not talking about today's picture. She's talking about the pictures that's already uploaded. She literally had some sort of problem with me from day one. I do not know the reason behind. The first time I actually happened to interact with her was when I went to do my fittings for the finale gown on the first day. So after the rehearsal, of course, I'll be off my makeup and I happened to just walk like that without makeup for the fittings. And they already had the list which contestant is going to receive which gown, and she gave a look at me and then she looked at him and was giving a judgmental smile. I chose not to react because I always choose peace. It was unnecessary for me to interact with someone like that because I know what I am, so I did not react to it. I was also subjected to racism. It did hurt me, but then I chose not to react. I faced racism not once, but twice. Once by the designer, again by the contestant. And to her, I would like to say, your designs actually suck. If she's really so much interested in gossips, then I think she should actually listen to the entire conversation. पूरा सुन ले बहन की, फिर बाद में कमेंट करियो. आधा अधूरा सुनकर उछलने की कोशिश मत कर. Another thing what happened with her was I was shooting for some other designer. I was in the other designer's outfit. Photographer asked me to record myself in the same particular outfit inside the room and upload a reel because they liked my previous reel. So they wanted me to do the same thing, and then I was like, okay. And then I was just going back to my room in the same outfit of the designer I was wearing, and this she comes and tells me, hey, you can't step inside this outfit into your room. And I was like, the original designer of this outfit has no problem. Who the fuck are you? What's your problem? I just wanted to say this to her, but then I just happened to politely reply to her saying that the designer has asked me to upload in this particular outfit. So I just gave her a look and then she shut the up and went back to her room. That's exactly what she's supposed to do. Do work. But she was hardly doing any work. I think for some reason she had beef with me. She was obsessed of me or something. Another beef that comes is about her own design. So we were having fittings of her own design, which included shirts and skirts and pants and whatever. And to be honest, those designs actually sucked. But I was hardly focused on her designs. And I just happened to try, and then I was carrying some particular kind of a pant which wasn't going well with the outfit, and it kind of gave me a tapori appearance. I was basically joking on myself. I was like, I'm looking like a tapori. I told it to my friend, and then this lady, she did not react anything. She did not tell me anything at that moment. The next day or the same day when we were having dinner, I was literally having my meal, and then I was called out by one of the person from the organizer, and then she questions me, Sanjana, did you insult her design? And I was like, no. When? So I told everything what has happened. And first of all, from when did the word tapori became insult? Second, tapori is me addressing myself. I can humiliate me, embarrass me, I can do what I want to do. Who the told you about your designs? God, I just want to pull out of her head. I'm telling you, you picked me up while I was having my dinner. No one's gonna forgive you for that. Nobody will ever forgive you. You don't even disturb a dog when it is eating. And I'm a human. And I was eating. You made me leave my meal, come and walk to you. The only thing I can wish is you and your family getting. I'm not cruel to say this. I'm not evil. I did not deserve it. And you deep down knew it wasn't a comment for your outfit, it was a comment for myself. And yet, you created this beef wantedly. Yeah, it was done before the finale, and it did impact me. It did affect me. It hurt me so much. But thankfully, it did not impact my performance. I slayed on the stage. In fact, she herself came and complimented that I walk so well. She loved it. 3 days she had beef with me, but on the finale, somehow she started loving me. She was like, "You have to tag me." And I was like, "Yes, bitch, I will tag you. Here's your tag. Your designs suck. You can't style. You can't focus on your work. You're so much bothered about who's speaking what. You don't have proper hearing skill. You do not hear people clearly. And for some reason, you hold grudge against people who you don't even know. Like, I don't know you. You don't know me. Yet I don't know, you had some problem with me from day one. I don't know what I had that it made you insecure and target me for no reason at all. But you will pay back. As the show ended, I immediately left because there was no point in staying. There was no water in the room. We were dehydrated. We were not given proper food. We did not eat fruits from the day one. By the time the finale came, we all actually fell sick. So, what's the purpose in staying when there's no water to drink and the water that was coming in the shower was very salty, unusable? Why would I stay? And the audacity of people to come and say, Sanjana, are you leaving? There's no water to drink. What do you want me to do? So, in the feedback video on the last day, they asked us a question, which was, "What have you learned from here?" And I went blank.
Major learnings this 3 days.
Uh, can you take a pause?
Yeah.
The major learning. I'm yet to figure out actually.
Basically, like I have been with my sister 3 days. I have learned to be confident.
Because I did not learn a thing. But now that question, I would like to answer to the organizer. These are the things that I learned at your place. Firstly, if you're at an upper level, do not participate or go anywhere that's on the bottom level. Otherwise, you'll end up insulting yourself. Because in life, you should always aim for an upgrade, not for a downgrade. And this whole pageant was a downgrade for me. Never ever go against your instinct, especially girls. Our instincts are very strong. Third, don't be kind to beggars. Just cause they have been begging you multiple times does not mean they deserve kindness. Don't do that. Fourth, are women really ready for power? Because I just noticed not just the state, but even the national director is a woman. And this is how they're treating. Because by scamming, you're not going to get the power. Men did not get power because of scamming. They got it because they deserved it. No wonder Tiara ma'am did not send us this particular pageant because it was. I just happened to see Miss Grand Kerala. It inspired me. Miss Grand Kerala actually happened on a very professional level. So I was very much interested in looking at them, and that's how I decided to participate. But my state, from where I participated, had the state director. Also, I do not understand why failed aspirants force themselves into something they were never meant for. I have seen that a lot happening in many of the industry, not just pageantry, but acting and modeling, castings, and many other fields. What I'm trying to say is, let's say there's a pageant aspirant, like this particular state director. She herself was a pageant aspirant, and sadly, she could not achieve anything. So now she wants to become a state director or a national director, and she's at that too. This is the same pattern I notice in the acting and modeling industry too. When you do not become the kind of actor that you want to, the kind of model that you want to, then you step into casting. So what happens is, when something does not work out, then you switch to something that actually will make a decision about the other candidate just because you could not become, and then you're judging others. It does not make any sense to me. Why are you doing this? If you were good at it, you would have become. or for whatever reason you did not become what you wanted to, does not mean you will switch your field and then you will sit on a higher position and then judge others, because I don't think you're capable enough to judge. This is going to offend some people, but this is what it is. If your acting career did not pick up, does not mean you have to become a casting agent. And Mumbai is full of such peoples, and I hate it. If we don't want that, like, I don't want a failed actor judging someone's acting. We don't want a failed pageant aspirant becoming national director or state director. We don't want that. We want someone who has experience. We want someone who has the skill. We want someone who's fit, who deserves that position, not someone just because they failed at it, because they have been in the industry. So maybe they have learned it all. No, these people never learn. I have been in modeling and acting industry since last few years, and I have received multiple times requests to do casting side by side. I don't want that. Why would I do that? I mean, like, I'm not sure about my own career. When I could not get what I wanted to do, then I sit in a position where I judge others? No, it's wrong. There's a saying, when God puts you on a higher position, please don't get onto the lower position or participate with people on the lower position. This was what I learned from this particular pageant. I'm not trying to put down, if it offends, but this is the fact. So it's not like I forcefully barged into your show. It was you who requested me to participate not once but 7 times. So it's not me who's cutting down your money. If you had to do this injustice to me, why the even beg me to participate? You were trying to use me because you knew I brought something to the table, so you wanted to keep me. You at least you wanted one or two contestants to be good. I have always come across. I have always seen good Punjabis. You're the first Punjabi that I ever come across. Where's your morality, ethics? You begged me to participate. I was not even interested in the first place. I told you I'm not interested. You begged me, and then you brought me only to do this to me. Your entire bloodline won't be forgiven for what you did to me. And this is to all the pageant people out there who say, pageants are about business. Fine. I agree. Everything is about business. But if it is about business, promote pageantry in that way. Push your event in that way. Don't hide in the disguise of talent and hard work. Don't hide behind a mask saying, "Oh, are you tall enough? Oh, can you walk? Do you have that confidence? Can you speak? How groomed you are? Do you speak on feminism? Are you empowered women? Do you have that confidence what it takes to get the crown?" Don't shit us with this when your ultimatum is whose daughter she is, how much bank balance she has. If that is your goal, promote it as that. Because when you are promoting something else, but you're doing something else behind, you also know you're wrong. The reason you're hiding the money part under hidden charges is simply because you also know it is wrong. And if you think it is not wrong, if pageants are about all about business, then change the module, change the way you promote it. Do you have enough bank balance and at the same time have the confidence? Then the crown is for you. Instead of promoting it like, do you have the confidence to get the crown? Please don't do that. Please, it's inhuman. It's cruel. It's injustice, especially to those young little girls who are like in their teenage years, looking at the pageantry, looking at these winners, and then building dreams. Can you imagine how bad it hurts when you actually step into that shoe and realize it was all? Please don't do that. It breaks me. It breaks everybody's heart. Also, this is me requesting Miss Gran to do better. I know you have lost your previous franchise, who is good, but then just because you have lost your franchise does not mean you give it away to any random strugglers or street scammers. Please do better or stop your pageantry.
झूठा